Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Hello once again and welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis and you're watching episode 80. As we begin with my first poem, this one's called Once Before. The N-word now is worn out like the mold that's on the wall, but my name your mouth refuses, so it's the N you use to call. It seems that you've forgotten the days have gone that we were on the fields picking cotton, like the days a white girl sneaked a black man in when dad weren't watching. I'm not saying you should soften like the fair hands of a lady, but 60% of the women nowadays do have brown babies. Yet riots are still moving like we've been morphed back to the 80s. It's full circle on repeat, or just a hurdle we can't leap, or a bitterness we can't release, or is it more due to the fact that we're just anti-peace, protesting against all righteous acts, voting in the barrier to divide the lives of browns, whites and blacks like enemies at war, mirroring the rivers of blood speech that was quoted once before. Moving on to my second poem, this one's called You Saw It on the TV. You saw it on the TV. Now hold up, are you sure? If a man threw hands at a woman, he was known to have broke the law. And this you say took place in front of 1 million eyes or more on a day that I weren't watching? Could this be the downfall of that sport that they call boxing? Imane Khelif versus who? That's ludicrous, like 3 judges scoring a fight that had no clue. Cause everybody knows it's just a thing that you wouldn't do. Cause though I missed the fight, it comes to light that this is crazy. What credit can a man take if to get the gold he must beat a lady? Am I wrong to say it simply wouldn't happen in the 80s? Is it a subtle way to say that boxing's not for ladies? As if they're questioning their skills. I think not is the case after watching Claressa Shields clinch another title around her waist, showing the world with style that she's not just a pretty face. In any case, never should we doubt them. A man deserves no credit as a boxer unless he's strictly knocking out men. And moving on to my third and final poem of the day, this one's called What If. She made daggers with her eyes, like bitch are you for real. So vexed she was she stormed out, left the items on the till. The shop was for the tension, all because the sales advisor felt the need to mention, we can't trust the likes of you. The security watched her close from she walked into the store. The sales advisor had given the nod, I think you know the score. Assumptions that a certain creed are known to break the law. Then she had the cheek to deem, we're only making sure. Only making sure, Chantel scoffed that she'd repeat. She said I'd rather starve myself than support you lot to eat. Imagine if the sales advisor learned to be discreet. Imagine if Chantel was road and did prefer the streets. And if the two had bucked upon each other later that day, no doubt she'd either cross the road or turn the other way. Accompanied by fears, I wish the schools would teach about black kings and queens of the ancient golden years. And there you have it, your poetry fix for me this week. I hope you enjoyed. Until next week, short and sweet. Take care.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.